Rejection by SQL. An attack of this type can give you access to someone without any possibility of restriction and a complete database, and even make copies, modify or do a permanently alter the information. Is given more than anything by making a query from the user interface using the program to obtain information or damage so that the program or base cannot be used. The malware and the spear phishing is a technique used by cybercriminals, hackers, contractors of information that thief either for use by a state or nation or to spy each other. Spear phishing is an email-only kind of spam whose sole purpose is to gain unauthorized access to confidential data. Unlike a phishing scam, which can launch wide and scattered attacks, spear phishing focuses on a specific group of organizations. To try is to steal intellectual property, financial data, trade or military secrets, and other sensitive data. Limited knowledge and experience in safety and education. Many firms are poorly equipped to deal with a security gap because of the lack of technical expertise to implement security controls and training. Consider one of the most common problems that databases have. Many users don't know how to properly follow their database, causing collateral problems that can be harmful in long term, such loss of information or thieved information.
Database vulnerabilities. 1. The excessive privileges. When user applications are granted database privileges that exceed the requirements of their job function, this privilege can be used to gain access to confidential information. For example, an administrator at a university whose job requires read-only access to the student's files can benefit from the upgrade rights to change grades, explain database, auditing expert, and database security. The solution to this problem is access control at the query level. Query level access control restricts the privileges of operation only using the required minimum data. Most native database security platforms offer some of these capabilities, triggers, RLS, and so on, but the design of these handy tools makes them impractical or except in the most limited deployments, according to the experience of web security. Privilege abuse. Users may abuse legitimate database privilege for unauthorized purpose according to the database auditing and web security expert. For example, a user with privilege to view individual point records to a personalized healthcare application may abuse the privilege to retrieve all patient records through an email Excel client. The solutions in the access control list then apply not only to what data are accessible, but how do you access the data? By enforcing web security police such things as location, time, application client, and volume of record data, it is possible to identify users who are abusing access privileges. Lifting and authorized privileges. Attackers can take advantage of vulnerabilities in database management software to convert low-level access privileges to high-level access privileges. For example, without database security, an attacker could exploit a database buffer overload vulnerabilities to gain administrative privileges. Elevation of privilege exploits can be defeated with a combination of query-level access control, database auditing, and traditional intrusion prevention systems. Query-level access control can detect a user who suddenly uses an unusual SQL operation, while IEPs can identify a specific document web security threat within the operation.
First of all, we have to define what is an exploit. It refers to a program or some code that takes advantage of a security hole in an application or system so that an attacker can use it for their benefit. Translating this into a real-life situation, it's like a padlock. The system or application has a design flaw that allows people to create keys to open them. The exploit and gain access to the place it's supposed to be protecting, allowing access for criminal acts. How do exploits attack? People most often come across exploit kits from booby-trapped high-traffic websites. Cybercriminals typically choose popular, reputable sites in order to reap the highest return in their investment. This means the news sites you read, the website you use to browse real estate, or the online store where you buy your books are all possible candidates. You can get infected anytime. How to protect? The easiest way to protect your data of cybercriminals is keeping all your apps updated. Every update in an app gives you more security and less possibilities to the hacker of entering in your data and steal something important. The exploits code. Unfortunately, we did not find the necessary code since it is not to the naked eye, but we found two different ways to execute an exploit. It can be run automatically by a program. You can create a .jar with the necessary code and then execute it. This can benefit the hacker since the code is less noticeable.
Attack to databases. Target 70 million users in December. The retail store reported the removal of information from customers who had made purchases during the first week of the holiday season. Until then, had an estimated 40 million users affected. Target data theft during the holiday season was darker than initially thought. The US retailer said on the same day that the prosecutors general announced a national investigation into the cyber attack. Target said up to 70 million people had been affected by data theft, including names, email addresses, phone numbers. In December, the first largest retailer in the United States reported that hackers had stolen data of up to 40 million credit and debit cards between November 27 and December 15. Criminals often steal personal data in stealthy transactions for use in email phishing campaigns that aim to persuade victims to cede more sensitive information, such as bank account numbers. The full extent of the damage will not be known until the end of January, when customers receive and examine their monthly fees and call their banks. The executives say he adds that in previous cases it has taken between 30 or and 45 days for the vast majority of erroneous charge to be exposed. Target and credit card issuers have said that customers will have zero liability for the cost of any fraudulent charge. Heartland 1,013 million users. Alberto Gonzalez, also known as Setback, a 28-year-old American hacker, is responsible for the largest case of cybercrime and identity theft pursued on credit and debit card numbers, after the United States Department of Justice last Monday found guilty, together with his two accomplices, Rushan Sopnasi and Jawar 17, to steal more than 1,013 million card numbers between 2006 and 2008. The targets were the networks of Heartland Payment System, a payment processor at Princeton, 7-Eleven, Hanover Brothers, a regional chain of supermarkets, and two other retailers. Theft of credit and debit card numbers were sold online, and some were used to make unauthorized purchases and withdraw money from banks. The New York Times said it used a list of 15 companies. Only attacks took advantage of SQL security flaws, and Gonzalez used sniffer programs over corporate networks to intercept credit cards transactions and then relay the information to servers that it rented in the United States, the Netherlands, and Ukraine.
Examples of computer attacks: 1. Bank robbery of $81 million to Central Bank of Bangladesh. Several hackers could access the Central Bank of Bangladesh systems and transfers $81 million to various casinos in the Philippines. A spelling mistake prevented the catastrophe. The misnamed name of one of the recipients raised the alarms and allowed to block the attack, planning to get almost $1 billion. A misspelling made it possible to uncover a multi-million-dollar cybercrime and made it possible to recover 20 of the $100 million that had been stolen from the Central Bank of Bangladesh. 2. Theft of 64 million Bitcoin to Big Fitness. About 120,000 units of Bitcoin digital currency valued at about 64 million euros were stolen from the Big Fitness trading platform in Hong Kong. This theft is the second most important in terms of amount, only after the one suffered by Integrantes in 2014, when stealing Bitcoin worth $500 million. The theft is as a Big Fitness caused a decline in Bitcoin prices about 23%. 3. Publication of data for 154 million US voters. The data include personal information of voters, such as address, email, telephone numbers, or links to their social networks. A database of 154 million US voters registration has been leaking information about an incredible variety of intimate details, including gun ownership, Facebook profiles, address, age, position on same-sex marriage, ethnicity, email addresses, and whether a voter is profiled.